Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning into this episode of Funeral Home Confessions. My name is Morty Stein, and I am going to be your host. We answer questions from you about death, funerals, and what really goes on behind closed doors at a funeral home. Before we get into our question today, do me a favor. Just hit that like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you've been watching the channel for a while and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? So do me a favor, just go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything and it helps the channel out. So here we go. Let's answer our question of the day. Our question is, if you have arrangements made with a funeral home, can the family go to a different funeral home so they don't have to follow directions? Yes, they can. But my question to you is, why would you want to do that? When people make pre-arrangements, they do it for a couple of different reasons. When you make pre-arrangements, one, it gets your wishes known, so that way when you pass away, everything that you want, it's in writing and it's a legal document on file with the funeral home, so those wishes will be followed. Also, by doing a pre-arrangement ahead of time, there's the financial savings, because when you do a pre-arrangement ahead of time and you pay for it in advance, that price gets locked in. So if prices go up over time, your prices are locked in and you don't have to pay anything more because you're guaranteed that price. And also, there's the emotional burden. When you make the pre-arrangements, it takes the emotional burden out of the equation, so your family doesn't have to make these decisions on the worst day of their life. So if you have a pre-arrangement, can the family go to a different funeral home? Well, they can, but those pre-arrangements won't be honored. And when I say that it means, so if you have pre-arrangements and you don't want what is in the pre-arrangements and you go to a different funeral home, you can do that, but you don't get the pre-arrangement price. The pre-arrangement doesn't exist because the other funeral home probably doesn't know there's a pre-arrangement in place. And also, if you're going to do that, you must be the legal next of kin. So if you have passed away and your spouse has already passed away and your legal next of kin is your children, and let's just say you have 5 children, the majority of your children, which would be 3 of your children, have to agree on it. So you really can't go rogue and do that. So to answer your question, yeah, it can be done, but why would you want to do that? People make pre-arrangements for specific reasons. Like I mentioned earlier, this is what they want when they pass away. They may want a simple cremation or a full funeral with a viewing. And if you don't agree with that, you should honor your loved one's wishes. But if you don't want that, yeah, you can go to a different funeral home as long as you have the legal authority to do so. So I hope that answers your question. You have a question for me? Just leave it right there in the comments. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon on Funeral Home Confessions.